Hey everybody. So here's an overview of what's coming up with the Jupiter 2. I've done a little bit of work here and there before I went into my job, a little after I got home from the job, and things have definitely moved along. I haven't done anything on the hull most recently, but I did start putting a bunch of little pieces together like the astrogator there. Let's get some close focus. The little Jupiter 2 that belongs on top is bagged up right now so I don't lose it. This went together really easy, and I carved a bit of a hole in the bottom to facilitate any lighting that might happen to go on. I don't know about that yet. There is one drawback to doing this, and I'll talk about that in the next major video. I just want to cover a few things. Over here, the radar dome on the top, a lot of the brass has gone on, but I've saved the biggest pieces for last. And I'll be doing a video specifically covering that. I started putting some of the clear styrene together. All those pieces of sprue that we used to have now been reduced to just those few stacks there. There's a couple pieces right in there as well, but they're fairly insignificant. All the legs are bagged over there, and this is all that's really left of all the parts. I'm currently putting these guys together. They go pretty easy. You do have to keep track of which parts go where. A little photo etch in there. Looks like this is about as close as I can get with this new camera. And as you can see here, I've started doing some light box work on the fusion core. This is going to come out really good, I think. I'm going to have to custom cut this a lot more to get it to fit the fusion cores. Over here, that centerpiece, I started putting that together. I'm going to be lighting that with a couple points of fiber optics. And speaking of fiber optics, this piece here has definitely gotten the most work most recently. There's a mix of 2mm, 0.25mm, and I think the other one is 0.5 or 0.75. So there's a fair amount of work going on there, and you can see this 2mm stuff is really thick. Getting this to bend out of sight of the window, that requires a fair amount of strength to do right there, considering it's just plastic. And you definitely don't want to put a crease in the fiber optic, because that will kill the light transmission. Over here, I've created the back room, and where's the other one? The space pod. I cut the door out of there, but I didn't necessarily really need to. These back windows here for the power walls that go behind the freezing tubes, this is shot with Rust-Oleum's frosted glass. It looks pretty cool. I haven't tried it with any light really behind it yet. Well, there's a test right there. And if we can get the exposure to focus differently on something else, it should do pretty good as far as dispersing all the light everywhere. And these parts aren't glued together yet. And I kind of just tacked these pieces together for the moment. I'm going to have to pull this apart again to get the inside spray painted probably. But I just wanted to see how well this fit. And I'll put some stuff on the table there, I guess. We'll see how things are going. I'm saving a lot of these pieces here for last because we're just about at the point where painting needs to commence. There's almost no more construction that can be done without some painting. So let me set up the Jupiter here, and we'll take one last look and watch for the next big series of videos coming up. So there are a few pieces in here that I haven't quite put in yet, but basically the point here is just take a look at the overall piece of situation going on. I think seeing the even light coming from the bounced off floor there is definitely a good indicator of how things are going to go when I put the lights on this side pointing out towards the hull to bounce onto them. And overall things are looking good. This area is definitely going to be pretty interesting. Let's see if I can get kind of close here. Let's try this. Yeah, that should be pretty good overall for the way the light should bounce in. Again, I didn't have to cut that door out, and perhaps I shouldn't have, simply because the space pod goes back there, and there's no need for that door to open ever. Over here, this door definitely needed to be opened, and let me flip the video here so I can get this a little closer to ground level. Definitely dark back there, so there'll be a couple lights going on. This area here is definitely going to be interesting when that's fully lit and set up. And over on this console, it looks like I cut that hole just big enough to keep the 2mm in perfectly. So I'm happy about that. None of the fiber can be seen from over here at all, no matter what angle you're at. And there will be an LED back there. Oh, where'd we go? There will be an LED back there bouncing against the hull to show off a little light going on. Overall, this is going to work out great. So the next couple videos are going to be final photo etch. I'll cover the fusion core there, how I'm going to light up a couple pieces in there. I should probably start putting some of the white LEDs into this area here so we can check out how the light is going to bounce off of that right there. That will be pretty cool. And again, it's almost time to start painting this basically. So you can start looking forward to some airbrushing videos. Decals will be coming up after that. There's still, of course, some assembly to do. And what else? Definitely got to work on this console here. That's definitely a major piece. I've been saving that for last once I got a lot of practice down on the rest of everything here. So essentially, looking back in time, I started off in this area and worked my way around. So right now I'm working on the freezer walls. There's still definitely some work to do on them before I get too much further. And then the control flight consoles. And one thing I'll point out about those is right here. The image doesn't look too great on the video screen. But basically, I got a whole pile of holes that need to be drilled out of there. So that's going to be like 0.25 fiber optic going in there. And that's definitely going to be a trick. So other than that, I will catch up with you later. See ya.